Hey folks, this is Bob, KK4DIV, and today I want to talk a little bit about the Pofung Baofeng handy-talkie radio. This is a dual band radio, operates on 2 meters and 70 centimeters, and according to the front of the box, this is advertised as the most powerful one yet. Well, you may be asking yourself, why do they say that? Well, the previous model, the UV5R, same basic radio, same looks, everything like that, was a 4-watt radio. This one is double that at 8 watts. So it is the most powerful one they have produced yet. I would recommend this radio to a lot of different folks for a number of reasons. First being the value. This radio was purchased on Amazon for about $62, and as anybody knows who has gone out and priced handy-talkies from what I like to call the big three, Yaesu, Icom, or Kenwood, know that $62 is a fraction of what they're charging for theirs. The radio that this is replacing, that I used to use previously as a handy-talkie, is the Wouxun UV6D. That was a 5-watt radio, and I purchased it about 4 years ago at about $120. So already you got more power out of this little guy, and it's about half the price of what I paid for my Wouxun 4 years ago. So, second thing I like about this radio, and I've already kind of alluded to it a little bit, is the power. 8 watts, you never know when you might need that little bit of extra power to get into a repeater. In a situation where you might be breaking up on 4 or 5 watts, 8 watts might get you a solid signal into the repeater. Now that is 8 watts on high power for a 2-meter band. On 70 centimeters on high power, it's 7 watts. There's a mid-power setting where you get 4 watts on both 2 meters and 70 centimeters. And the low power setting will give you 1 watt on both 2 meters and 70 centimeters. Another thing I like about this radio is the battery life. It is a 2100 milliamp hour battery. It's a 7.4 volts. I have used this, keep it on all the time. Just monitor the repeater, and I will get about 2, maybe 2.5 days of standby use out of this radio. The more I talk on it, obviously that time goes down, but for what it is, that's great. I don't have any problems with that. Another thing I love about this radio is the workmanship. For $62, I see no physical flaws in the workmanship. It's a nice solid radio when you're holding it in your hand. It has a good weight to it. No problems with that. The buttons are easy to depress. There's no sticky, they don't stick or anything like that. And the volume knob is solid. It doesn't wobble. Just a great radio when it comes to workmanship. Another couple features I like about this radio, first of all, it has a flashlight. It's not a bright flashlight. You're not going to light something up at the end of a football field with it. However, but around the house, if there's a quick power outage and you need to find a set of keys or another flashlight to maybe that might be a little bit better, this little flashlight will do the trick. It also has a strobe function for maybe getting somebody's attention in an emergency situation. I don't know what that would be used for, but it does have that if you need it. Another thing this radio has is FM broadcast capabilities, so you can listen to FM broadcasts, local broadcast stations. You might be asking yourself, why would you want that on your handy-talkie? Well, in an emergency situation, that could be important. Where you have power outages, widespread power outages, or you're in an area where there's been a hurricane, tornadoes, floods, anything like that, any kind of emergency situation where you need to get some information, that information is going to be put out on broadcast, local broadcast stations. So you can tune into your local station, find out where what maybe the weather updates are, maybe where food, water, that sort of thing. I live in a hurricane-prone area, and I'm telling you, gas is a problem. And they will tell you where you can find gas on the local station. So that's very nice to have as well. A couple things I don't like about this radio, and I'm going to get the box back out right here, and I'm going to show you real quick. I've already taken it off, but in my opinion, the antenna that this radio comes with, this little short stubby antenna, is junk. standing out in my front yard. I'm about 5 miles away from the repeater. I was breaking up into the repeater even on the high settings. So maybe it's just this antenna. Maybe not all of them are like that. Maybe I've got a bad one. I don't know. But I was not pleased with that. I have replaced it with this. This is a high gain antenna. This was purchased from PowerWorks. That's POWERWERX.com. This is a reverse SMA. I did purchase this when I was using my Wushan, and it's the same connector, the reverse SMA, on the Baofeng. So this works well. With this antenna, I can be in the house, and my signal reports have been, people say I sound like I'm talking on a base station. So very good signal reports even inside the house with this antenna. I would recommend picking it up. I think it's worth the $23 I think I spent on it. So get you that. The other thing I'm not too happy with is the charging base, and I don't have it in here, but the charging base that this sits in is a little bit wobbly. Not a deal breaker, but just something I think they could have tightened up a little bit. I have a bunch of animals, cats in the house, and if you are a cat owner, you know that they like to jump on everything. So I'm worried about this, being sitting in the charging base and then knocking it out and maybe not getting a full charge overnight or something like that. Not a deal breaker. If it was a big deal, I could move it where they wouldn't jump up there, but just something that maybe they'll fix on the next go around. I don't know. I don't know if they'll watch this video. Probably not. But neither one of those things are a deal breaker. I think for $62, this is a great radio, and I would recommend it to anyone. I'd recommend it to the first-time radio buyer, somebody who just got their tech license, that want to pick up a dual-band handheld radio, and they don't have a whole lot of money to spend. This would be the one for you. If you're an emergency prepper, somebody who likes to store things and get ready for emergency situations, things like that, there's a lot of folks out there that do that. Nothing wrong with that. I have a lot of respect for those folks because it's a real thing. I mean, stuff happens. Hurricanes happen. Tornadoes happen. It's good to be prepared. This would be a great radio for that if you need to keep communication with friends and family, things like that. As long as you're licensed ham, this would be a great option for you. The last category, people like me who've been a licensed amateur radio operator for a while that might just want another radio. Something that you can carry around with you. You're not going to be too worried if it breaks because you didn't spend a whole lot of money on it. This is the radio for you. So with that being said, I think that about covers everything I wanted to talk about with this radio. I do recommend it. Go out and pick it up. It's only $62 if you need something inexpensive that has 8 watts. You're not going to find anything like it out there. So hope you all were able to take something away from this video. Hope it was informative for you. Subscribe to my channel if you find it interesting. I do some videos from time to time, a lot of radio stuff. I've been known to do some firearms stuff, videos on shooting, things like that, talking about different firearms, that sort of thing. So subscribe to my channel if you'd like. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll talk to everybody later. This is KK4DIV saying 7-3, everybody.